setting up the ballistic calculator. I've got a few profiles set up already. At the moment, this is set up for the 510. I name it with the G at the front because the G is the profile letter that the 510 is zeroed on the scope. It's just so I remember which one it matches. I put hunting because it's the hunter pellets, just so that I remember. You can name them however you see fit. You could just give them a number, just as long as you remember the profiles. Select the squares, top corner. Takes you to the toolbox. Select the unit settings. Go through that list and pick whichever units of measure you prefer. For instance, distance, I prefer meters, scope height, centimeters, and speed, feet per second. Just work down that and select what you prefer. Back arrow, back arrow. Now to add a rifle, just touch the rifle, touch the little arrow again, change rifle settings, or change the rifle. So I want to add one, hit the plus, give it a name. So I would zero this on F, and I'll just name this as demo, and in a minute we'll add Ballistic pellets. Hit save. It's now on your list. Select that. If you hold it, you can rename. Save. It's selected. Hit the save at the bottom. It's now the rifle that's selected. Work through the list. So put in your zero distance. Put in your scope height. Scope height is center of barrel to center of lens. Don't have to worry about much else. The twist rate I don't think comes in for sub 12s, so don't worry about that too much. Come down. So this is a new profile, rifle profile. So the cartridge sample is just the sample data. So just select that, brings you through to the cartridge. Top right corner gives you the database. Select pellets. We can select the render, come through. It's basically okay. We can select the caliber. Okay. Now select magnums. Select the magnum, hit the save, and come back here. Now the cartridge is the magnum. It's inputted all the information for you. Ballistic coefficient. You may have to tweak this on the fine tuning. The same with the scope height. But you need to do some testing to know what that is. You have to add your muzzle velocity. That's all you got to add. Main points, zero distance, scope height of feet per second. Hit save. Back on the main screen, and we have F demo Bisley at 577 feet per second, 0 to 21 meters, and then we've got the magnum. And that's done. If you go to ballistic table, we come down to 20, so there's our 0. On this I just have the drop, I have the energy, the drop, and MRAD. If you do the little cog at the top, you need to set your start distance, which I have as 0. My end distance are 100. You can do that to whatever you want. You could go to 150, a bit pointless. 100's too much for a sub 12. But it's sometimes nice just to range out, just to see where things are. Increments of 1. You can set this to what you want. If I put it to 5. Hit save. So then it's changed. Increments of 5. I prefer increments of 1. Decide what you want to show. Just select it. Hit the save. Go back again. So that's all set up. All you need to do now is send it to the scope. To send this profile to the scope, we need to connect it. So I'm just going to turn on the scope. At the moment you can see that the Bluetooth is white. But if I switch on the scope, and it's connected. So now we've got blue. If I go to the ballistic table, and we've got a little white aeroplane or paper plane, and it's sending the ballistic table across. And that's it, it's done. Now this doesn't exist for me, so I'm going to put it back to my previous profile. Back again to the rifle. The one I'm using at the moment is G. I'll select quick touch on the G, So to select it, hit save, brings it back. So on the top of the screen, I've got G510. If I come back down, cartridge hunter, which is what I want. Everything's as it should be. Hit save, and we're back. Now I've got the G510 with the hunter pellets, which is what I want. Bluetooth is still connected. Go to the ballistic table, pivot plane in the top, give that a touch. And the table is now back across on the scope. And that's it, done. There is a second video on the finishing tweaks, adjusting the scope height and the ballistic coefficient of the pellet, just to fine tune it. So have a look at that.